I think that's what's going on in America at the moment with the inquisition of Google, Facebook, Amazon, etc., Alphabet. Sorry, I don't know if it was Alphabet or Google, but essentially, like, you know how the American, I don't know how American politics work, right? So, because it's completely different to here, but essentially, ask them, what do they do with the data? How are you using it? How do we know that you're not using it for malicious content, etc.? And then sharing the misinformation, and then how Facebook was suppressing political votes, or they were pushing a political agenda on Facebook. It was one of those things. But yeah, like you said, that essentially the topic of how Trump won, etc. But yeah, I don't know how it works exactly, but it's really interesting.
Dude, it's insane. Like, they just have so much data. I heard in a documentary that data has become more valuable than oil. Insane. Like, data is like very underpriced right now, and all these companies are just like, they just have so much data. And like, eventually, like, if like AI gets to a point where you could just like copy yourself into like a computer, like you could just like have all this data and just like copy like a lot of, like, you could literally recreate you, Krishn, create like a virtual Krishn with all his data and his search history and all his like everything, his messages, and they're like, okay, this person is Krishn. It'll be pretty close mirror to you.
So then, should that happen, so essentially you're talking about like essentially uploading your consciousness, your subconsciousness, onto a database, onto say a computer system, whereby we'll just assume that it can sort their information, it can do a lot of tasks for you subconsciously, whereas you don't have to pick up a phone and make a call or do this or that. Your subconsciousness uploaded to a database or to a network can essentially read your emails or do everything for you, do the processing for you. That's ridiculous to think. That is scary. That is so scary. That's going to bring about more questions, and even more like really ethical questions, in terms of if you're uploading your psyche, your consciousness, like there's a lot of implications regarding that. That's like, imagine, because if you do that, say one of these big companies are going to be the first one